from that age of 6 and I heard that radio, I knew I wanted to be the voice. So if there's another kid switching on a radio, which probably won't happen because unfortunately radio is not as popular as it was back in the day. And when I was growing up, I just want to inspire people through my voice, because I was inspired when I first was up hearing Pete Tong late at night and hearing Judge Jules after that. And then prior to that, hearing Tim Westwood and hearing like all these guys on a Friday night from Radio 1, and then going over to like Choice FM and hearing these larger than life characters over there. That was my passion, you know, and I'm happy for where I am now, but I don't know how to react. Nowadays I find myself okay, thank you, but sometimes when you say thank you without an extension of something else, people think you're a bit arrogant. So I'm just like, I'm happy, but I don't know, man.
How much of that do you reckon is down to feeling that you've still got so much more to come?
A lot of it, all of it, to be honest, because I think my roof, I don't have a roof. Like my limit, there is none. That's the thing. When people look at the achievements that I have achieved in the last year, this is just scraping the surface. Like I genuinely, when I wake up in the morning and I look in that mirror, I've been through so much in my life and I've had so much people tell me I couldn't do what I was doing for many different reasons. Whether it be you're a black man from South East London trying to make it on commercial radio station, speaking the way you speak. I've had someone straight up tell me, you've got to switch it up. You're not articulate enough. There's a certain level of broadcasting in this country that you have to reach. You have to be able to speak in a certain way. You use too much slang. You come across... Will Jerry from Cornwall understand you? Will Rebecca from Kettering understand you? Will William from Northampton get you?
Sally from Stoke's my
Sally
favourite.
from Stoke, that's a good one. They won't get you. You got to switch it up. And I tried that and it never worked. In fact, I tried it and I ended up getting kicked off the radio because I tried too hard being someone I'm not. So when I used to get these doors shut on me and when people used to tell me like, yeah, Kenny, you got to go in that way. When I decided to go my own way and realize this can work, now I know you've awakened a beast. So cool. I've now reached stage 1 of where I wanted to be. You know me very well, Alex. I've always wanted to be on One Extra. I've always wanted to be in the BBC because growing up in broadcasting, BBC is like a certain, like that's levels. And if you can get into that building, dressing the way I do, speaking the way I do, promoting the music that I do, you're special. And now I know I'm special. So when people like come up to me with all of this, you're going in, I'm not. Because if you think this is going in, I'm afraid in the next 5 years, it's a bit mad.
It's funny because like what you were just saying about, you know, that time when you were on the radio trying to do like the classic radio style that wasn't you. I think it was around that time 4 years ago-ish when we first met, was when you were doing some like cover shows on One Extra. And it was daytime radio. It wasn't specialist radio as it's called, like the evening slots. And I remember we had that conversation in the building and you were talking about, you know, how much you wanted to be on One Extra, but you were also telling me how much you wanted to like bring through this new wave of music that was bubbling under the surface. And I felt at the time, I can't remember if I said it to you or not, but I felt like you were caught, like you said, between a rock and a hard place because you'd got to this point in radio where you'd always wanted to get to on One Extra, although it was daytime, but you weren't able to bring through the music and the thing that you wanted to. And I feel like over those years, you kind of rewound yourself back in, and not reset, but like reassessed, maybe is a better word, and then went forward again with it.
Yeah.
So like, what was it like for you when you got that phone call to say, Kenny, Friday nights, 1Extra, this is like a coveted slot that's been, you know, cherished for so long and has been, you know, occupied by Semtex for so long. Kenny, we want you to do that job for us.
There's so many elements that we're going to unfold. Firstly, I want to talk about the element of me nearly missing that phone call. So I was booked for a show in Berlin. Well, I was meant to be booked for a show in Berlin the week I got the phone call. I think I got the phone call like on a Wednesday, and I was meant to fly out to Berlin the day before that. But because of the business side of things, like basically things weren't right with that booking in particular.
Yeah.
So my manager declined the show on that same week. So I'm already thinking, imagine if I wasn't in the country when I got that phone call. Because I usually go on flight mode when I'm out the country. You can't get to me. So what would have happened if I didn't get to answer that call? So I was thinking about that now looking back on it. And then when I got the phone call in the morning, I thought it was a prank. Obviously, I know the number that rang me. So I know it's not a prank, but it didn't feel real. You got to understand, just to put things in perspective, anyone listening to my voice right now on this podcast, I have been trying to get into this building for nearly 8-9 years of my life. Let's put this in perspective. I'm 25 years of age. The first time I walked into the 1Extra building, I think I was 17.
Wow, yeah.
I'd done something called Extra Talent. Some people would never even remember what Extra Talent is. That's basically what the 1Extra residency is right now.
Yeah.
Even prior to that, a year before that, when I was 16, I was sending emails upon emails. I was going on LinkedIn, trying to Google who was who from the BBC. Who could I speak to? I was doing everything. I used to go over to Great Yeldon House, which was the original building for Radio 1 and 1Extra, and wait outside for DJs just to give them my mix CDs. I didn't know any better. I should have known that, come on, how's the DJ going to take my CDs? It's going to throw it in a bin. I didn't know any better. I used to like literally bunk school to do that just so I can get seen. So you're telling me after all this time, I'm getting a phone call to tell me to come in because they want to discuss something. And I already know with that phone call, you can just tell me what you need to tell me over the phone. But my heart started beating when I heard, can you come in? Because I'm thinking, all right, cool. I can't get in. What have I ain't done nothing wrong. Like,
so they didn't tell you what you were coming in for?
No.
It was just like, can you come in?
Just can we speak to you?
Yeah.
And it was in the morning. And I'm not anyone that knows me, I'm not a morning person. So for me to wake up, my phone's never on loud, always on vibrate. So for me to just wake up like that, that's mad. So I've woken up. I remember, I don't even think I showered properly. Like my heart was racing. I had to make it in for like midday and it's 9.
And what was going through your mind?
I was like, what's going to happen? Like, did I play a record that offended someone on the residency? Like, I was just thinking, you see, the mad thing is, I was thinking negatively.
Yeah.
Because for me, I'm thinking, no good things happen to me like this. So all these things are running through my head. I'm washing my face, I'm brushing my teeth, I'm ready to go out. I'm driving. And again, my heart's still beating. I'm driving. I'm near Marylebone. I'm round the corner. I've parked up. I think I got a ticket that day as well because I was shaking. I couldn't even pay for the parking. I got back to a ticket in my vehicle.
Was this because, were you like, you know, you're saying you're having all these negative feelings and thoughts and you're shaking and you're kind of nervous in a way. Is that because you thought your opportunity was getting taken from you.
I felt like it. Good things don't happen to people like me. I'm just going to keep it so real. Where I'm from, good things don't happen like this in this industry. Of course, we get the typical athlete and rapper story from my area or from South London. But in broadcasting, not really. Not at this stage where music is. I'm just thinking negatively. I should know better, but that's just me. So I'm thinking, cool. I'm here, and I've met the head of programs, and then he breaks it to me straight up. We've seen how much work you've been putting in. We appreciate how much work you've been putting in. I'm happy to say this to you. We'd like you to take Friday nights on 1Extra.
Yeah.
Semtex's previous slot. And then I'm like, I'm not gonna lie, I started crying.
Yeah, I'm fucking tearing up now. Like you telling it.
Real talks, I started crying. I was like, that's why I felt like it was a prank. Like, you're joking, like you're kidding me. I'm looking at him like, you're not, there's no way this is real. Like, I'm even having to pinch myself in front of him because it feels like a dream.
Yeah.
So after 8 years of grafting, you're telling me my time's now. Like, it's now happening. And then he's like, yeah. And then we have this weird pause. I'm being serious. It's like, we're just looking at each other for ages. I can honestly say it was probably around 15 to 20 seconds. And that's a long time to just be looking at someone.
You know what, I'm cracking up because I know the exact scenario. I know the exact room it would have happened in.
Yeah.
The exact person you're talking to.
And I'm like, this is mad. And then on that same day, that's when it all happens. I had a meeting in West London. Then I was told to come back, and then we do the pictures and stuff, and the announcement happens on that same Friday, I think. And it's official. I'm a BBC Radio 1Extra DJ. From when I was 6, listening to Radio 1 and dreaming for one day making it. It's now here.
How does it feel being able to like say that now?
It feels amazing because I've never actually had to never really said it. I remember that whole week was a mess in a good way because I had to go home and speak to my mum. And you see with my mum, you see that woman there. When I tell her good news, she just like, she breaks down, but tears of joy. You got to understand, for so long, we've gone back and forth with this career, this radio DJ career. They never saw the vision in it because, again, if you're from Africa, my son's got to be a pilot, be a doctor, be a scientist. Like, over in Africa, these are the big occupations that make you a successful child, a successful man. If we're not doing that, then it's not cutting it.
That's true.
And then I kept on going back and forth all my for a good 20 years of my life, going back and forth with my family, showing them, look, we can, this is going to be huge. If I make it, like, this will be groundbreaking. Like, have faith in me. Let me keep on doing it. When I broke it to her, it was just amazing. Then I started breaking it to my friends. And then, like, everything was just amazing. And obviously, the hardest thing as well was keeping it to myself and my mother.
Yeah.
Because, you know, the worst thing you want is news getting out about whatever, and then it just messes everything up. So I was just like moving. Imagine me going to see my bedrooms and going to see just people, knowing that I've got this thing in my mind that
I'm not
I
able to
really
say
want to
anything.
tell you, but I can't. And then the Friday comes and the announcement gets made and everything feels different. Like everything is just like, yeah, it even until now, I can now say with confidence and own it.
Yeah.
But I think because I've never had the opportunity to just say it. And that's why I go back to saying like, this is like therapy to me.
Yeah, yeah.
Because now, as I sit down here on this podcast, I'm a BBC DJ. I'm a BBC DJ. Contrary to popular belief, for anyone that's doubted me, for anyone that said that I'm too hood, anyone that I've said that I'm not articulate enough or I don't use big lingo on the radio, or like now look. So yeah, it's mad.
Yeah, man. Do you know what, man? And I saw you like, I think it was 2 weeks after the announcements were made.
Yeah. Yeah, at the office, innit?
Yes, I was at the office first. Yeah, you're right. I was thinking at One Extra Live when I saw you.
Oh yeah.
And we were like,
I was a wreck then as well.
And you were like, oh man, this is like my first One Extra event as a DJ. It's like, this is so surreal. And we were having that chat of like, I was like, Kenny, but come on, like you've deserved this.
Yeah.
Like, that was a powerful moment for me. Like just seeing how much it meant to you, because it's different catching you in the office.
Yeah.
Because we've had that moment loads of times over the years.
Yeah.
But catching you at One Extra Live with everyone else there, the artists, the presenters, the bosses, the workers, everyone who's involved in the station.
It's like you're part of the family.
It was I could feel like how much that meant to you. Like just being able to say, you even said it to me, like it feels weird saying I'm a One Extra DJ.
It's so weird. I'm so used to being on the sidelines looking in on the sub bench. Like I'm so used to seeing the starting 11 do their thing, and I'm just like on the bench waiting to get called up, like waiting to just, yeah, Kenny, you're on. And even what's deeper than that is the way I got unveiled to the world was crazy. I get told, so you're going to go and host, because every presenter on One Extra had to bring out an artist that was headlining One Extra Live. Then they told me, yeah, Kenny, we want you at One Extra Live. You're going to be bringing out LMA with Jam Supernova and Trevor Nelson. And I was like, are you serious? Already? So I'm already in the deep end, because after the announcement happened like probably a week prior to that event, I'm in front of 15,000 people at one of the biggest arenas in Europe, bringing out...
In pretty much your part of London as well,
yeah,
Southeast London.
Because even deeper than that, in the O2, that's in Greenwich, the area I grew up in, Deptford, is 10 minutes from there.
Yeah.